Hey guys, Error Fixed here. Today we're going to be talking about the recent release of Mario Kart's Booster Pass DLC, more specifically what I want in the future. Today I'm going to be going over what my predictions are for the old tracks that are getting remasters for the Booster Course Pass DLC. And honestly, I really like the start of this DLC. We got a good amount of tracks that I and most people like, including Coconut Mall, which is one of my all-time favorites. And the tour tracks were pretty well designed. I find it very clever how they mixed all the track variants together and made it so it switches variants each lap, which is a really cool thing I didn't expect Nintendo to do. But enough talking about the already released DLC. Let's talk about some of my predictions on what tracks could be in the future. And yes, I've heard there are data mines and such, but I have not seen any of them, so my predictions are completely blind. But before we start the predictions, I would like to go over the categories I planned for you today. I've categorized everything in 3 sections. The big hopes, the probable, and the not much of a chance but I still want them in the DLC. The big hopes are tracks that I really like, are a fan favorite, and are in Mario Kart Tour. The probables are tracks that either aren't in Mario Kart Tour but are still popular enough to get in, or tracks that I don't really feel like putting in the big hopes list. And the not likely list are tracks that aren't popular, nor are in Mario Kart Tour, but I'd still love to see them in the DLC. And now with the rules set, and without further ado, let's go over the list of my predictions for Mario Kart 8 Booster Pass DLC. Starting off with my favorite Mario Kart Tour track, Los Angeles Laps is a fun track. Driving through a sunset beach and through many places in Los Angeles was really fun in Tour, and it would make an even better experience on Switch. Also, I just want to hear a live remix of the track song. It freaking slaps in Tour. Mario Circuit 1 was the first track in the original Mario Kart for the SNES. And it would be fitting for the first track from the first game to be put in the newest Mario Kart installment for a newer generation to enjoy the simple but recognizable track. This track always stood out to me whenever I played Mario Kart 7 as a kid. And I really wanted to see this track in Mario Kart 8 when it was announced, and then when the original DLC was announced. But now this desert railway has another chance to be in the game with the new Booster Course Pass announced. Will it get in, or will it be denied one last and final time? Only time will tell. Whenever I think of Mario Kart Wii, this course often comes to mind. The concept of driving up and around a tree is a fun and memorable experience from playing the Wii. And honestly, I'm surprised this track wasn't picked in the first place, since Nintendo seems to enjoy this course a lot. Ah yes, Airship Fortress, because storming an airship is a perfect place for a racetrack. All jokes aside, this track is a very unique concept, and very nostalgic whenever I think of this track. My favorite part of the track is going down the spiral before the finish line. It's fun trying to see how long you can hold a drift on the spiral. Now this one is a no-brainer. Of course we gotta have the track completely themed on the famous purple guy. No, not the one who kills kids, the other purple guy. This track is one of the most famous tracks in Mario Kart, period. And leaving this one out would be a sin, especially after the big loss of not being in Smash. But if I know Nintendo, they're probably gonna leave this one out just to keep the We Hate Waluigi streak going. Ah, the Big Apple. What a wonderful place, especially for racing. This track is a pretty cool one, and it was the first original track from Mario Kart Tour. But to be honest, the only reason this track is so high up on the list is because I really like New York. Cool city. Speaking of cities, Singapore. This definitely is another personal favorite Mario Kart Tour track. Flying on top of the hotel and driving on the infinity pool with the cute floaty Goombas genuinely made me love this track, especially the nighttime party vibe this track gives. Now this track is incredibly underrated. The atmosphere, conveyor belts, and the end section really make this track fun as heck to play on the Wii and would make a really good course on Switch, especially since Nintendo doesn't give this track the love it deserves. Mario Kart 7 always had really cool track settings, and this one is probably the most unique. Driving around a bazaar underneath an Arabian moon is such a cool concept, and I'm surprised they didn't think of this sooner. And the glider section with the Shy Guys on magic carpets is both adorable and intimidating at the same time. I feel this course would look very beautiful on Switch if it gets a remaster, and honestly, I would love to see it. This course is definitely the most memorable course out of all of them for me. This course was the first one I played online with. This course really amazed me as a kid because I realized it was just one big lap. We haven't had a 3-section course in the DLC yet, and this one is a really good candidate for it. This one is another pretty iconic track. I like the setting of this one. It kind of reminds me of a water park. Funny thing about this track is that there's an underwater portion, which wasn't introduced as a mechanic until Mario Kart 7, years later. This track is a very weirdly fun track. The upbeat music, the cute goats, and the overall setting makes this track a very enjoyable experience. Also, I'm pretty sure we haven't had any Daisy-themed courses, and this one's pretty much the most viable one. As much as I dislike the GBA tracks, that's just because they look really confusing on GBA and kinda boring. But just like the other GBA remasters, it makes me appreciate the track concepts they were going for in the GBA, especially when given a new coat of paint. And I really like the Western Gold Rush setting they were going for here. It's actually a pretty cool concept. This course will haunt me forever. Because as a kid, whenever I played this track on Double Dash with my friends, I always lost, specifically on this one course. But I still want this track remastered because it's just that fun. The infuriating cave part and driving right under the dinosaur's head was really funny to me back when I used to play this. Also, this track has the funny monkey music. Who wouldn't want this remixed? Okay, quick disclaimer about this category. Most of the tracks here are going to be Wii tracks because I have a heavy bias toward the Wii tracks since I played Mario Kart Wii my entire childhood. But honestly, there really isn't anything too interesting about this track except the dash panel part at the last part. I thought that was always cool, and also I just like Luigi Circuit since it's the first track from the Wii. But really, there's nothing too interesting about this course. I just thought it was a cool one. Man, Mario Kart really hits different nowadays. This track, on the other hand, is not boring. The absolutely slapping music and the mysterious temple ruins somehow really make this track stand out from the 1,000 other desert tracks Nintendo has made over the years. And the gimmick where the ruins become more and more flooded with sand was honestly a really cool gimmick. It really made me appreciate its uniqueness above the other desert tracks. Okay, hands down, I think this track is one of, if not the best Bowser Castle tracks in Mario Kart. The weird, wavy beginning hallway section, the giant Bowser statue. The fact that the music of this track is sort of a remixed version of Maple Treeway makes this all more better. I can definitely tell where the Mario Kart 8 devs got their inspiration from, and I really don't blame them. It would be really hard to make a Bowser's Castle better than this one. Okay, to be honest, the only reason why this track is on the list is because it has such a good music track. Like, the music is both relaxing and also very exciting at the same time, and I do not know why. And the sunset beach vibe of this track is really nice. Speaking of Daisy-themed courses, here's Daisy Circuit's predecessor, Daisy Cruiser. If you can't already tell, this track is based off of a cruise ship, also coming with some very pleasant music. Man, what's with Daisy-themed courses having really good music? This track is a pretty fun track to play in Double Dash and would be great to have in Mario Kart 8. And last but certainly not least is Bowser's Castle from Mario Kart 64. This track is definitely in my top 3 Bowser Castle tracks of all time. In my opinion, is one of the most menacing. The black sky, the endless lava sea that this castle sits on really gives off a feeling of dread when you are on the outside parts of the castle. And the army of thwomps that try to stop you inside the castle make this track actually kinda difficult. I'd be pretty surprised if they added this track, but honestly, I wouldn't mind it at all. And that's all the predictions I have. Some of these tracks I feel very confident in being added, while some don't really have a chance. But I hope Nintendo doesn't just choose all the popular ones and chooses a few curveballs to make the Booster Course Pass feel like it wasn't just a weird way to promote Mario Kart Tour. Which, let's all be honest, it pretty much is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun researching and making the video, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And big shoutouts to all the people who made the footage, especially GamerJGB, because without them, this would be not as high quality. All of their channels are in the description, and I highly suggest you check them out. And maybe even consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel, because it really helps a lot. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.